Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News and your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. Good morning. I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's Gold Rush Week 2 edition of NXT, broadcast live on USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Carmelo Hayes bested Baron Corbin to retain the NXT Championship, making his fourth defense of the title. In the evening's other title matches, Tiffany Stratton retained the NXT Women's Championship over Thea Hale. Gallus successfully defended the NXT Tag Team Championship against Edris Enofe and Malik Blade, and Nathan Frazier made his first defense of the NXT Heritage Cup, beating Axiom. In other results, Gigi Dolan pinned Kiana James. Following the match, James laid out Dolan in the ring and poured paint on her.
Oh! Whoa! The money bag, Vic.
Well, what's inside the... Oh, cans of paint? That wasn't just any money bag, Booker. This is absolutely disgusting.
In ratings news, last Friday night's episode of SmackDown drew a total audience of 2.354 million viewers to Fox, down 3% from the previous week's 2.430 million, according to Showbuzz Daily. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was .61, representing 796,000 viewers, and down from the previous week's .67, according to WrestleNomics. Nevertheless, the episode ranked once again in first place on network TV for the evening in the key demographic. In live attendance news, tonight's edition of AEW Dynamite in Hamilton, Ontario had 3,933 tickets distributed to the First Ontario Centre as of Monday evening, according to a WrestleTix report. With the current setup of 5,278 seats, that leaves 1,345 available tickets as of the time of the report. Scheduled for tonight's episode are an Owen Hart tournament match between Ruby Soho and Britt Baker, as well as a Tornado Tag Team match between Sting and Darby Allin and Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. And in injury news, Grayson Waller indicated yesterday on social media that the reason he hasn't wrestled since his final NXT match against NXT champion Carmelo Hayes on April 25th is that he broke his leg during that match. Waller described the injury as a clean break to his fibula, but did not indicate when specifically he would be able to return to the ring, although he plans to announce that information soon. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.